Hi everyone, welcome back to Team Heartbeat. Since the last time I posted, I got my Team Heartbeat shirts in the mail, as well as I believe there were 10 other people who ordered them who got theirs too, so that's pretty cool. The first round of shirts are out there. I'll put a link below for the Redbubble store where if you feel like sporting some Team Heartbeat gear, you can order. I designed the logo myself. Most importantly, I did get the call that I'm getting to start my nursing program in August. I was for sure going to be able to start in January, but I was called up. So August is the day, or is the month that I get to start, and I'm so excited. I had put out a post on my Instagram and Facebook asking people for questions, and I figured I'd do like a little Q&A video. It didn't have to be weight loss related. I told them it didn't matter. You can ask them. I'm kind of an open book. I don't know. I guess I don't remember exactly what I've blurted out before. All of the questions I did get were pertaining to the weight loss surgery or what I plan on doing after I lose the weight. I guess I'll start off a little simpler than that though. Of course, my name is Megan. I'll be 29 in November. I'm an only child, originally from Illinois, but I live in Wisconsin now with my husband, Nick. We've been married for almost 3 years, but together for almost 8. We don't have any children, although we do hope to have either a biological or an adopted child someday. We'd like to get our lives in order a little bit. I was told last year that it probably is like a 99% chance that we won't have a biological child. But again, I'm hoping with taking some of this weight off, my PCOS symptoms will subside a little bit, and maybe if it's in the world's plan, we will have a baby of our own. If not, we for surely want to look into fostering or adopting. We have a lot of love to give, of course, to whether it be a baby or just a child who needs a place until they can find their forever home, or maybe we would become their forever home. But I want to finish school first and get set up in a career. We have a cat named Zeus. He'll be 7. Nick got him for me for our first anniversary. He's not very happy that I've locked him out so I can film this video. Maybe someday he can make an appearance. So I guess I'll get into the first couple of questions that I got from you guys. The first one that I have here says, how do you know when enough is enough? Such as, when do you decide this is ideal, I don't want to lose any more weight? And that's something that I'm kind of worried about. In my group therapy and in just the research that I've done, this gastric bypass has created people who used to be addicted to sugar. They are now addicted to other things, whether that be alcohol or exercise, or you go from one extreme to another. So I'm morbidly obese, so maybe I'll be anorexic. I guess that is something that I'm worried about. I know that I have a good head on my shoulders and a great support team with my husband Nick and family and friends. So I'm hoping that if that were to happen and they noticed that I was losing too much or getting too obsessed about something, that they point that out. One thing I am worried about is the extra skin. The people on Instagram that I watch and everything, they're having these abdominoplasties, brachioplasties, the tummy tuck or whatever. And obviously I know that I've stretched my skin a lot being the weight that I am. My surgeon seems to think that my arms and legs shouldn't be that big of a deal, but I carry a majority of my weight in my stomach, and I'm kind of worried about the extra skin and is that going to make me more self-conscious? Am I going to become obsessed with that? So, you know, I'm obsessed with covering my belly now because it's so big. Am I going to be so obsessed with covering my belly because there's all that loose skin? But again, I'm just going to have to take that a day at a time and see what it's like when I get there. I don't have a lot to speak of in this department, and I know that those are going to be gone, and I hope that I'm still able to feel feminine and everything, and not feel so self-conscious about that once I lose the weight as well. I guess the next question that I had here was, how do you plan to move forward with your new eating habits? Honestly, it's a day at a time. It's a meal at a time. I mean, we made dinner tonight and made spaghetti, and you know, I threw a bunch of veggies in mine, and then I also had this edamame pasta, so it was very low carb but high protein because I know that's what I'm going to have to do after surgery, and it really didn't taste that good. You know, I kept on looking at it and hesitant to eat it, and said, ooh, that, you know, have you tried it yet? What does it taste like? And I, you know, jokingly said it tastes like I'd rather be fat. You know, if I had the decision every day, I'd go out and get a Egg McMuffin, and I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I love food. I love food that tastes good, and it's obviously the food that I've liked in the past isn't the best for me because I weigh, you know, I weighed 352 pounds, and so it's just making the choice every meal that this is worth it. That, yeah, it doesn't taste like, you know, Little Caesars pizza, but this is what's going to ultimately get me to my end goal. It's going to ultimately get me to where I want to be. I don't want to be 352 pounds again with no energy, laying on the couch taking, you know, 2-3 naps a day. You know, I want to be out there. I want to be active. I want to be you know, a person who enjoys life. So I guess that I'm just going to move forward, taking it a day at a time, taking it a meal at a time, taking it a bite at a time. I mean, took a bite of that pasta tonight, and I didn't want to finish it, but that's what I had decided that I was eating. It was good for me. It was plugged into my FitnessPal. It was, you know, within my calorie count. And so it was just what I had to do, you know, and we have made a lot of changes, and we found a lot of things that we enjoy and that, you know, quite frankly, taste better than Burger King or Culver's or whatever, you know, and so, you know, maybe, okay, I won't buy that edamame pasta again, but I'll find something else that works within my range. The other one I have here says, I know this is shallow, but what piece of clothing do you look most forward to wearing or buying? I can't wait to wear skirts and dresses and like the maxi dresses and not feel like I'm wearing a muumuu and not feel like it's a tent on me. I want to feel very comfortable in a nice pair of jeans that aren't elastic. I like my curves, and I want to be able to have something that's form-fitting enough that I feel confident in it. But I'm really excited about kind of getting to have a style again and not having to buy clothes that just fit me. You know, I'm at that point now where it's like, well, yep, that's a 5X or that's a 4X, and that's the only one that they have, and I don't really like it that much, but obviously I have to wear clothes, and so it's what's going to fit me. So that's kind of what I'm excited about, being able to kind of find my style again. To, you know, I love wearing t-shirts and skirts, and so I'm just excited to be able to do that again. My friend Mary had asked, how do you find the motivation to stick with it every day? And like I've kind of said in the past couple of videos, something in me just clicked. You know, after my grandpa died, and I saw that picture, and, you know, I saw how much I had put on, and that no food is worth feeling that crappy again to me. You know, I've had a couple of slip-ups, And her other question that she had is, how do you give yourself a break? And I figure, I'm not always going to be perfect, and it's not always going to be, sunshine and rainbows or whatever, but I figured that no brownie or no piece of cake or no scoop of ice cream is going to feel better than I am right now. I have energy. I'm out doing things. We went and played frisbee after dinner, and I was ready to go on a walk afterwards. My tummy kind of hurts, and so I decided not to, but I could have kept on going, and that's not how it was before. I just have energy. I'm not napping. I'm just ready to kind of take on the world, and so that's kind of my motivation. Secondly, my motivation is you guys, the people who have donated to my GoFundMe, everyone who likes anything I say or tells me that I'm doing a good job, or it feels nice to kind of feel like I'm inspiring people, but also I have all of you guys as kind of those accountability partners, and so I don't want to, let you guys down, I guess. But more importantly, it's just I don't want to let myself down, and know that I've lost almost 30 pounds. I don't ever want to go back, so it's worth it to me. Can you still find food that tastes good? Yes, like I said kind of earlier, there are a couple of things that I've tried that I really don't like. I'm really liking the protein powders that I'm doing for shakes for breakfast. But it's all on how we season things, and my husband and I are really kind of excited to be able to take this journey in food together, to find new ways to make our old favorites healthier, but also just new seasonings. We're not really saying no to anything. We're gonna try out this seasoning. Oh, we don't like it. Oh, we try out this seasoning. Oh, we really liked it. The one thing that that we made I think 2 weeks ago was pizza stuffed chicken breast. So we took a chicken breast and cut it, kind of butterflied it, I guess. I've never heard that term with chicken breast, but kind of how you butterfly a pork chop. And we put spinach, garlic, oregano, pepperoni, and mozzarella cheese. And I did, a serving size or whatever amount in there, so it was still pretty reasonable. And then kind of wrapped it, or put toothpicks in it, and then we grilled them. And then when it was done grilling, we put a little pizza sauce on it, because we both love pizza so much, but obviously that's a lot of carbs. And it was like the best thing I've ever tasted. So we're definitely going to do that again. That's on our menu for this week, actually. Let's see, there's just a couple more here. How do you predict this surgery will affect your social life? So I think it'll affect it in kind of two ways. I am kind of nervous about eating out in public, because I know that you have to eat a lot slower. Obviously, your meals are going to be a lot smaller. And you have to make kind of, the right decisions, and it's kind of easier when you're out in public and with your friends to make the wrong decisions. So I'm kind of worried about that, but positively, I think that it's going to give me more confidence to want to go out. I've kind of become a little bit of a hermit since gaining as much weight as I have, and that's not who I am. I'm usually, short of the anxiety that I've had for 10 years, I've always been pretty extroverted. I love people. I like hanging out with people, but, since getting this big, it's not as fun to go out. I can't fit in a booth great. I always feel like I'm in people's way because I'm, bigger than everyone, or I can't get through an aisle of people. I have to say, excuse me, and then they have to move, and I just feel like I'm inconveniencing people. So I'm excited to be able to have the self-confidence to go out in public. Again, not that I'm like not going out or anything, but, to not have to worry about it, I guess, as much. How do you rise above the haters? I've kind of wrote a blog about this. The amount of hate I receive has been completely shadowed by the amount of support. I was actually expecting a lot more hate than I have got, I guess. and I didn't know how I was going to react to it. I mean, when I started the GoFundMe page and kind of came public about that I was going to do this Ruin Y, I was worried about it, but it was kind of what I felt I had to do. And, you know, I've had a couple of, like, Instagram haters that I don't even know these people, and I was like, wow, their life must really suck if they're going to call out someone that they don't even know. And obviously, you know, how did they see my stuff if they weren't searching, and all the hashtags were weight loss related? So obviously they just, like, were seeking people out to hate. So I've had a couple of people that I know give me some hate on it, and I just figured, you know, I'm not asking anyone to support me per se. I guess, you know, I'm not asking you to join this journey with me if you don't want to. And if it's not your cup of tea, it's not your cup of tea. But again, I figured, you know, they just must be pretty angry people if they're gonna, like, straight out call someone out for trying to better themselves. And so, you know, I really haven't let it affect me too much. Everyone being so supportive has absolutely helped that, though. So I really, really appreciate everyone being so kind about everything. You know, it's one of the reasons why it's so easy to keep doing this. I guess I'll wrap it up here. And of course, I'll put a link for the Instagram and my Team Heartbeat Facebook group in the description below. Let me know if this is something that you like, but, you know, maybe we can do this again sometime. As always, thank you for all of your support and for watching this video. Please feel free to like and subscribe and share it with your friends. I'd love to meet new people along the way. And I hope you have a good day. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.